Right now, a lot of borrowers are in limbo after more than a year of pauses on student loan payments.
In fact, many are holding out hope that the president and the Congress might even cancel some of that debt altogether. As we wait and wonder, the question is looming before us right now: pay now or pay later? Here's THV 11's Hayden Balgavy.
Emily Tao is an attorney in Little Rock, and like 43 million other Americans, she has federal student loans.
Currently, I think I'm at about $200,000 total for student loans.
A daunting number for anyone. However, the Bowen School of Law graduate is choosing not to pay right now.
You're studying for the bar exam, you can't really work anyway, and so I'm trying to catch back up on everything else. So it's kind of been nice that things have been pushed out a little bit just so that I can kind of get my feet back from under me and get settled before I have to start paying those back.
And now she has more time to pay those back. Last month, President Biden extended a freeze on federal student loan payments to August 31st that was set to expire on May 1st. The move also brought up the question at a White House press conference about the president using executive authority to possibly cancel up to $50,000.
I am not considering $50,000 debt reduction, but I'm in the process of taking a hard look at whether or not there will be additional debt forgiveness.
Federal student loans have remained on hold since March 2020 due to the pandemic. When asked about the latest delay, Arkansas Senator John Boozman released a statement which reads in part, "Continuing this pause is a gift to his political base and an insult to taxpayers and the hardworking Americans who have fulfilled their obligations. The Biden administration should work in a bipartisan way to make student loan repayment a more simple and accountable process instead of this patchwork solution that could set the stage for a permanent and unnecessary loan forgiveness for high-income borrowers." According to the Federal Reserve, the average person with student loans has about $37,000's worth. That's a daunting amount by itself, but here's something that might really help put that into perspective.
In the United States, when people die, on average, they still have like more than $25,000 of student loan.
Stephen Yao is an assistant professor of insurance and risk management at UCA. He understands the benefits of waiting to pay, but he says people who can afford those payments now should think about the long-term impacts.
That's the first kind of lesson I teach my students. So I would say, hey, if you have any debts, then you should pay back as soon as possible.
Whether you pay sooner or later, Professor Yao encourages self-discipline.
They are so getting used to using somebody else's money and they think that will be free. That's wrong. They will hurt people in the long run. They will have no money to save for their long-term project, for example, to save money for their retirement.
He also suggests repaying under an income-driven repayment plan. Now, this plan sets your monthly payment at an amount that is intended to be affordable based on your income and family size. Exactly what Emily plans to do when her payments are due at the end of August.
Yeah, it's just another thing that's going to come out of the bank account on a certain day, and I get the alert that says, hey, it's coming up in a couple days, make sure you got money in the bank, and you go from there, and kind of just have to think of it that way, because you're right. I mean, you borrow it, you're expected to pay it back.
As for Professor Yao's best advice for future borrowers, fully educate yourself before taking out a federal loan.
There is a lack of financial literacy. Probably, high school students, they never share the kind of financial literacy, and talking to people to take things, take your financial responsibility.
You can obtain your goal in a different way, because there's so many other avenues that you can take that don't necessarily involve taking out, a house payment worth of, or a mortgage worth of loans to actually make your dreams come true, because it's not always the case.
Hayden Balgavy, THV 11 News.